Welcome back to the Diamond K Show here on RadioOnFire.com. Thank you for joining me. Of course, we're broadcasting from the Radio on Fire studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. And definitely we encourage people to continue to support everything that we do here at Radio on Fire. RadioOnFire.com/join. Become a subscriber, make a donation, a premium subscriber. You get exclusive content, and you continue to help us bring you independent news geared to urban America. So today was the day that many Democrats have talked about coming. This was the day that Mueller was going to testify. And after almost 7 hours of testimony, almost 7 hours today before two separate committees, the former special prosecutor testified. He answered some questions, not all questions, many questions, and other questions he just said he didn't want to talk about it. And in a testimony that was at times choppy, unorthodox, I don't want to say bumbling, but you definitely could tell at many points in times that Mueller was past his prime. He didn't want to read anything. He would read it, inside. Read to yourself. But you remember how some students, when the teacher asked you to read something aloud in the class, some students just couldn't do it. Mueller came across to me as one of those students who did not like to read out loud in the class for whatever reason. That was, I thought that it was interesting. His age, I thought, played a part. He seemed very elderly, and he is elderly. He seemed very elderly. And it was revealed that, we already knew this, but he did not do a lot of the investigation. This is deferred to other people. So to have him up there talking about this or answering and not answering questions was a bit of a gamble for the Democrats. And we want to talk about, did this gamble pay off? Was Mueller's testimony today, was it a pass or was it a fail? That's the question that I have. Was it a pass or was it a fail? So, of course, Mueller, no stranger to testifying at all. He has testified more than most people. Mueller's testimony has over 80 sometimes he's been in this situation. So why did it appear today that he was I couldn't hear to no you that I didn't think it was the best representation. But it's over finally. He's done. Now it is up to Congress to see if they're going to do anything. And I predicted it many times. They are not going to do anything. Nothing. Zilch. Nada. They're not going to do anything because they are scared and shook of Trump. Why? Why are they scared and shook of Trump? I don't know. Trump has talked such a game that they're scared to do anything. And Trump, he has a totally different view on what happened today. It's like, first he said he wasn't going to watch. Then today, listening to him talk, it is clear that he not only was watching, but he was paying very close attention to the testimony of Robert Mueller. So anyway, it was very unpolished. His testimony was unpolished, but he did confirm three things. First, Trump's campaign was willing to receive Russian assistance in the 2016 election. This we knew, right? And even if that conduct was insufficient to justify a criminal charge, they did it nonetheless, okay? First. Second, the president repeatedly engaged in obstructive acts to impede Mueller's ability to conduct his investigation, including what could arguably be qualified as conspiracy to suborn perjury and engage in witness tampering. Anybody else does this, you going down, and you going down hard and heavy. But Trump, for whatever reason, could not find any charges to stick to him. Not that he wanted any to, but could not. It just won't happen for whatever reason. And so, lastly, another thing that stuck out to me, that Mueller and his team were restricted by the Justice Department from even contemplating whether or not the president should be indicted. All this stuff we knew. Mueller just confirmed it in a very unpolished, clumsy manner. He did confirm that. His job is done, and he did all that he was permitted to do or not permitted to do. But there were many things that he did not want to touch on for whatever reason. I thought that the testimony was what I thought it was going to be. It was uneventful. It was no point. But I'm glad that it's done, and I'm glad that it is over with. Okay? And so he did also confirm that he did not, Mueller said he did not exonerate President Trump for all that, whatever that means. Now, interestingly enough, the president had a totally different view of the Mueller testimony today. Both of them. He had a totally different view. And speaking just after Mueller testified, let's go to Trump.
A very dumb and very unfair question. Because if you look at his correction, he took that totally out of play. He made his decision based on the facts, not based on some rule. So you shouldn't even ask that question because you know it's a phony. Go ahead.
Trump says that they had a very good day. Republicans had a good day.
The Democrats had nothing, and now they have less than nothing. And I think they're going to lose the 2020 election very big in congressional seats because of the path that they chose. Now, who knows where it goes? From what I hear, they're giving up. But I just say, I know them too well. They'll never give up.
So Trump is talking about the effect of the Mueller investigation, what he perceives as the effect, and he thinks that it's going to have an impact on the 2020 election. I do think that this is going to have an impact on the 2020 election. The Democrats want this to stain and smear Trump going into the election. I don't think that it's going to have that effect, but as I said, this is President Trump speaking after Mueller's testimonies today, 2 testimonies over 7 hours. Get back to Trump.
They'll go back into the room and they'll try and figure something out. This whole thing has been, honestly, it's been collusion. It's been collusion with the media. It's been collusion with other countries. This has been a disaster for the Democrats. And I think we're going to win bigger than ever. Now, I'm going to West Virginia, one of the great states, a state that's doing, if you look at percentage up, I think it's number 1 or number 2 in the country. And nobody would believe that.
So the thing about a guy like Trump is whatever you accuse him of, he flips it. Of course, him accusing the Democrats, they were the ones who colluded. He didn't collude, and they were the ones who colluded with a foreign government, even though he is bedfellows with Saudi Arabia. That's neither here nor there. Trump continuing to spin things, continuing to duck and dodge.
So I'm going to West Virginia. We did have a big case today. You know, we won the asylum case in Washington, which, frankly, you should be asking about that because that's the real deal.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later, and that is the asylum border case that they were battling that was ruled in favor of President Trump. So these words Trump had, and as I said, completely, it's like he watched something else. He went on to talk about how it was a bad day for the Democrats, and it's all Republicans, and everybody knows. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Also speaking after the testimony of Mueller, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer came, and Nadler as well. And let's listen to a little bit of Nadler talking just after the Mueller testimony.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, the American people heard directly about what the special counsel investigation uncovered as to Russia's interference in the 2016 election and the president's cooperation with it and obstruction of justice. Mueller made clear that the president is not exonerated.
Correct.
Mueller found evidence of obstruction of justice and abuses of power by the president.
Now, this is stuff, of course, this is Jerry Nadler talking. We knew this stuff already, this stuff confirmed, and as we found out yesterday, the FBI director didn't even read the Mueller report. Most people have not read the Mueller report. I would say that probably 1% of people have actually read the Mueller report. But let's get back to Nadler.
The report said the president could be indicted for obstruction of justice after he leaves office. Mueller found that Trump would and did benefit from Russia's help, and that the campaign welcomed that help. Mueller found multiple instances where all three elements for charging criminal obstruction of justice were met: trying to fire the special counsel in order to stop the investigation, trying to have people lie and cover up for him for the same purpose, trying to limit or impede or constrict the special counsel's investigation, trying to tamper with witnesses, cooperating with investigators. All of these were found with great evidence. President Trump went to great lengths to obstruct the special counsel's investigation. Anyone else who acted in this way, if they were not the sitting president, would face criminal prosecution, would face indictments. Only the Office of Legal Counsel's opinion that you cannot indict a sitting president has saved or is saving the president from indictment, because all the elements of these crimes were found with substantial evidence, and the people have now heard this. The president's chant of no obstruction is nonsense. His chant that he's been totally exonerated is a simple lie.
This is all something that we knew. The Democrats, however, are not going to do anything because, as I've said many times, they are scared of real confrontation, unfortunately. But that is the case. So this situation cries out for a political resolution, not a criminal resolution, but a political resolution. And Mueller and his team drafted their report in the way that they did because even the Mueller team was scared. They did not really want to take a stand to the right or to the left. They just wanted to present the facts as they saw them. And today's testimony drove that home. He didn't really want to take a stand either way. But whatever judgment Congress and ultimately the American voters render with respect to the president, beyond Mueller's responsibility or duty, his role was to provide the American people with facts, and the facts that he could come up with even though the White House did not fully cooperate, they somewhat cooperated. And the task now falls on Congress to do something. But as we're moving into August, it is way late for them to do anything. They're getting ready to go on vacay. They're getting ready to go home and chillax. And then they're going to come back and we're going to be fully in election season. So nothing's going to happen from the political standpoint. Nothing's going to happen from a criminal standpoint. It's going to be up to the voters to decide whether they want another 4 years of Trump. Hopefully not, but maybe they do. Another 4 years of Trump or somebody else. That's what's going to happen. So all in all, Mueller report done. Mueller testimony done. Over with. Was it a pass? Was it a fail? I don't know if it was a fail. I don't know if it was a pass. Depends on what you call passing. To me, if I had to give it a number grade, like when we were in school, not like 65 is passing, like the kind of stuff they do now. I'm talking 70 passing, 69 failing. This Mueller testimony, report, all of that, I give it a 78. So, a C plus. But at the end of the day, nothing's going to come of it. But it is going to be something that's going to hang on to Trump for some time to come. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Don McKay Show, at Radio on Fire. Hopefully, Mueller will ride off into the pasture, and we do not have to see or hear from him again. And the next time we need to investigate somebody, we need to get somebody a little bit younger, because Mueller was boring.